Stephanie. The Finance Department is very excited to provide status on the business tax amnesty solution. I would like to thank staff from the Finance, IT, and Civic Innovation departments and their commitment to this effort. The Finance team worked closely with IT department staff to develop and deliver an online portal that supported the city's business tax amnesty program. You'll see in this presentation that this highly collaborative effort resulted in a much improved customer experience for San Jose businesses and residents that could have been frustrating and time-consuming. Rick demonstrated solid leadership with this deliverable, so I'll hand it off to Rick and his team.
Thank you. So Rick Bruno, Deputy Director in Finance. So pictured here is the city's core team members that made this project a success. From left to right, I am very proud to have led this team and to share the results from the commitment and innovative ideas that this team put forth. Second from the left, Swati served as our project manager and kept us on track with our project plan. She played an instrumental role in keeping us on schedule. Next, Eric, Valerie, Twee, and Chris served as the department subject matter experts and were responsible for establishing the requirements and testing the solution. Their commitment and dedication to testing and retesting the solution led to a very robust product. Christian and Topher served as the technical leads on the project, with Topher leading the integration processes. The code he developed vastly improved the time it takes the finance department to set up a customer account and complete the billing processes. Additionally, the team was supported by the finance department's banking and payment processing teams, the IT department's network team, and last but not least, the Executive Steering Committee, which was comprised of Rob Lloyd, Julia Cooper, Jerry Dreesen, and Lisa Titano. Our vendor partner, CityBase, played a critical role in delivering the solution. CityBase team was led by Aaron Jancic, Cole Davis, and Nabitha Matthew, with additional back office support from their product development teams. The vendor performed a thorough analysis of our requirements and suggested solutions based on our objectives and key results. It was through an iterative process that we were successful in developing and delivering our solution on time, within budget, and within scope. So before we dive into some of the specifics of the software solution, it's important to recap the background of the business tax amnesty program and why it is important to, one, complete an amnesty program at this time, and two, have a solution like this in place. So for starters, what is a business tax amnesty solution? In August of 2019, the council approved this program. It's a limited time opportunity for businesses to pay past due taxes in exchange for forgiveness of penalties and interest. It's a 6-month program that began on October 1st, 2019, and will end at the end of this month. Why now? So there's 3 reasons why this was an important initiative for us to do now. Most importantly, the business tax modernization measure that was passed in 2016 and became effective in July 1st, 2017, drastically changed the tax structure, the rates, and the base for which business tax applies to. And so it was important for us to run this campaign so that any businesses that need to come into compliance with our code could come into compliance with it. We also made a budget commitment to generate $1 million in additional revenue. And thirdly, we are planning to do field reviews following the campaign to ensure the compliance with our business tax system. So this slide compares the experience of a past amnesty program with that of the current amnesty program. As you can see, in past amnesty programs, when we've done this, there was an online registration process. There weren't online payments availability. Online exemptions were not an option. And so this resulted in a disjointed registration and payment process, as well as long lines, both in City Hall as well as in our phone volume and our queues. There was long wait times for that. So going into this project, we knew it was very important to have an online presence and to have the ability for businesses to register online, to make payments online, to file for exemptions online. We took it a step further and we implemented automated phone payments for those customers for our existing customers, so they wouldn't get caught up in some of the increased traffic and volume of the Amnesty program. They can go on, they could call us and go through our automated phone payment system. And we also were able to automate some of our back-end processes to streamline how quickly we can set up a customer's account, bill it, and receive payments. And then last but not least, we deployed some self-service computers in the first floor lobby within City Hall for customers that needed to register in person. So next I'll cover the objectives and the timeline of the software that we implemented. So based on our experience from past Amnesty programs, we placed a high premium on automating the registration and payment processes prior to launching the current Amnesty program. Our objectives were simple. We wanted an efficient, organized, and convenient method for businesses to submit applications, for the system to calculate taxes and fees owed in real time, and to integrate processing of online payments into a single interaction with the city. We achieved this objective and delivered a product ready for production in less than a year from start to finish. As you can see from the timeline, we moved quickly on this project to be ready for the official launch of the Amnesty program on October 1st, 2019. This timeline shows the product broken down into 3 phases. The first phase was the RFP evaluation and award process. We took an outcome-based approach to this procurement. For us, it was very important to receive a viable product in a short amount of time. We weren't so much interested in setting out all the requirements that needed to be established. We were really interested in the outcome and having a product that can be set up quickly. As part of the procurement evaluation process, we invited vendors to present a mock-up of the product that they would develop for us, or something similar that they could tailor to satisfy our objectives. It was through this process that we decided to work with CityBase. They had a platform that we can envision being able to use. Between February and September, our teams worked together to develop, test, and go live with the business tax amnesty solution. This was not an easy considering the complexities of our tax structure and the endless combinations of taxes, business improvement district fees, penalties, and interests. Finally, after going live with the system, we entered into the eligibility period to apply for the amnesty. So this is when businesses can come forward and benefit from the program. The 6-month program is nearing an end, and the software has proven to be so valuable in delivering a user-friendly experience. While the program is performing as expected in terms of volume of businesses benefiting from the program, we are not seeing the operational impacts that we experienced in prior amnesty programs, that being long lines in person and in the queue. So at this point, I want to call out the fact that we received an award, and next month, the city will be recognized at the Smart Cities Connect conference in Denver, Colorado. The Smart 50 Awards recognizes 50 global smart city projects annually, honoring the most innovative and influential work. Business Tax Amnesty Solution will be awarded in the category of digital transformation. At this point, I'll turn it over to Chris to give us a demonstration of the solution.
Hi, so demonstration number 1, we're going to show you the business tax registration and online payments. It's going to show you also the adaptable workflow and the calculation of current and past due amounts. First of all, you go to CSJ website. Okay. Go to the business tax registration. Okay. You select your type of business. You provide your ownership information, any type of ownership agent details. Then in this section, you incorporate your business information, what type of business, You insert your main location address. It also asks you if you have additional locations. You confirm your business address as well. It does also ask you if your mailing address is the same as your business address. Then you also have the billing information, which will show the number of owners and number of employees. It goes by tax year there as well. Then it also asks you if you have any, if you're located outside the city. This particular section is for regulatory permits, is prompting you to answer particular questions in reference to that. Okay, this is your exemption page. It gives you the different types of programs. Well, I was going to confess. If you want to apply for it, you go to that particular area. This is your digital signature. You declare this information is good. Also, if you want City of San Jose information, this is the summary of your registration process. You are allowed to edit by section if you need to make changes. This page shows the summary of what your tax amount is by year. Being that we're under the Amnesty program, it also shows you the discount of what you're going to be able to receive, and it gives you a grand total. After you submit this, it goes directly into our payment portion. We're going to choose to use a bank account information. You put your information in there, routing number, account number. Once that's completed, it goes to a summary page, which you make sure the information is correct, and you click make your payment. And here's your summary confirmation in reference to the payment. And this concludes the first part of the demonstration. Okay, on demonstration number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up on the process towards the end of the registration workflow to apply for the exemption process. Yep. Okay, once again, this goes to the exemption, gives you a summary of all the different types of exemption programs that we have. This is your digital signature, I certify. And also, once again, if you want information from the City of San Jose. The summary page, which allows you to edit your registration form by section. There's your account number that the system provides. And then we're moving on to the exemption site, in which you would need to put your account number information in there. The various types of exemptions that exist there, we're going to go with, what was it? Okay, we're a charitable organization. Okay. With the charitable organization, you have to select the tax year in which you want to do it. You are a first-time applying, and at that point, you do have to supply the documentations that's going to support your charitable organization. Once you do that, you submit it. This is indicating that basically it still has to be reviewed before approval, and it does provide you a summary of this exemption request based upon all the information you provided. You do need to sign once it is submitted. It's basically going to an adaptable workflow in which our staff will review it to make sure that all the paperwork is done and it'll be approved or denied. Okay, the benefits of this is the user experience. A single transaction for a user registration and payment. It does improve the cash flow to the city. Customers can see the amount owed at time of registration due to the tax rate logic and rules built into the front end of the system. New online exemption request functionality built into the portal. Staff efficiency. Automation of the registration process, which creates customer accounts, service agreements, and bills. Online case management tool allows customer service reps to track the exemption requests, statuses, and standardize communication with the customer. Security, enhance PII and PCI compliance. The city's early adopter of PGP encryption technology. And lastly, revenue. We are on target to meet our revenue goal of $1 million and ongoing. New and ongoing, that is. Lessons learned. Keys to our success, there were clearly defined objectives and discipline around deadlines. Department product owner, from an executive level, involvement in the day-to-day discussions and decisions. Managed scope, reached minimum valuable product, iterate to optimize product process and features to go live. This concludes our presentation. We're going to give it back to Reggie.
Thanks, Chris. So we're open for questions right now.
Vice Mayor Jones.
Yeah, one quick question. You went over it pretty quickly, but was there a field where the business can request to receive information from the city? I thought I heard you mention that when you were going through the different fields.
That is correct, and that's some feedback that we had received from the Small Business Advisory Task Force probably more than a year ago when we met with you. So as we
that's why I keyed on it.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes. So I think there's three checkboxes. One is related to receiving information in the case of an emergency, a city emergency. Can the city contact you? And the other one is related to promotional information that the city might want to release, and if they're interested in soliciting that. So that is one of the checkboxes that's there.
Great. I appreciate that. And my next question is, do we have any data in terms of the success rate? So I don't know the total number of businesses that you reached out to, but what's the percentage of success rate in terms of responses and taxes paid?
Yeah, so we're quickly working to get our February month-end numbers completed. We don't have those yet, given we're still in the first week of March, but we do have numbers from October through January, and that shows that we have over 2,000 businesses have benefited from this program. About 1,500 of them are new accounts that had never registered with the city previously and now are registering with the city because of our Amnesty program. There's about 150 that had underreported. So given the change in the tax structure, they've come forward and updated their employee count numbers or updated the number of units that they own and rent. And then there's another 500 that were delinquent in paying their taxes and have come forward and paid the principal amount of tax that's owed without having to pay penalty and interest. So through January, over 2,000 businesses have benefited from this, and we're continuing to see solid numbers in terms of those applying for Amnesty.
Okay. And what was the total universe of businesses that you reached out to directly?
So in terms of our direct we had a pretty robust communication plan and outreach plan. It was everything you might have seen, advertisements on VTA buses. You might have heard it on radio stations, newspapers. We kind of did some of that more general marketing, but then we also had some direct mailings that we sent out to 50,000?
It was like 51,000.
Approximately 50,000 letters that went out to potential business owners that were earning income and lived and were operating within San Jose.
Great. Thank you.
All right. No public comments. Can we get a motion to accept?
Motion to approve?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, approved. On to D2.